Hello. How are you doing? I know it's been a while. It's been a minute. I've had a very busy few months, but I'm back and trying to get into the swing of things, and I have an update on the Canada's Got Talent situation, as it were. And then I'll also share a little bit of the life update after that. So let's get into the video. Hello, it is me again, Cassidy Civet, the internet's favorite furry Civet pop star. Probably. There are no others. If there are, they will be destroyed. So, what is this new Canada's Got Talent update that I would like to share with y'all? They decided to actively scout furries. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Here's some screenshots and stuff. Basically, it seems like the producers, like I said in my video that you can watch here, they loved me. They loved that I was such a good, positive personality on set, and they were disappointed that the judges didn't treat me very well. That's basically what the producer person says here. But then they decide to try and scout out other furries. I had literally just left on my 6-con trip in the US and Canada, and then literally on August 4th, I received word from a few locals that have been getting these messages from the producer that's like, hey, we found your videos on the internet. We would like you to participate in Canada's Got Talent. Here's the link to send an audition. Which, you know, props to them for trying, I guess, but I can't imagine how furries that aren't actively looking for a spotlight in a, you know, a normie setting like a Got Talent show. I can't imagine that there's many of them that were expecting unsolicited DMs from television producers. And not to say that it was a bad thing at all. In fact, I think that it's kind of a good sign that the producers liked me so much that they are looking for other furries. But I told the producer that the chances of them finding another furry with both free time, the confidence, and the moolah to fly themselves to Niagara Falls, put themselves up in a hotel or a hostel or an Airbnb or something for like a day or two just to audition, the chances of them finding another furry willing to put themselves in the line of fire like that is very low. I definitely appreciated the producer saying that she had listened to the new song I released back then, Pass You, which you should listen to it also. I actually had a pretty good conversation with that CGT producer. She told me that she had been watching hundreds of dance comp and floor war competition videos on the internet and was kind of enamored with the furry fandom as a whole. I think that's a really good thing. It is something that I think about from time to time. That almost certainly my brief few seconds on national television in fursuit definitely got at least one person interested in the fandom, you know? If even the CSI episode can create furries, I have a feeling that I must have created a few furries, you know? Funnily enough, I've actually never been to the con in Toronto, Vernal Equinox, so, you know, if they need a musical act sometime, hit me up. I'd love to go. I made it pretty clear to her that I was a little interested in participating again, but that the travel costs were something that I didn't want to be on the fill for that again. That was basically the end of that. So the producer told me that she didn't have any luck recruiting any furries for the next season of Canada's Got Talent, and that's kind of where it ended. But I did like that she said that as she was messaging these people, they were starting to talk, and then they reached out to me, because she's surprised at how tightly knit the fandom is. And she also said that they think highly of me, so, aw. Though she did say that her efforts were fruitless with my pals, which, like I said, the chances of another furry willing to put themselves on a stage like that is, teeny tiny. The teeniest of the tiniest. One thing I had to make explicitly clear to her was that I was in no way offended or put off to, like, reality TV based on my experience on the show. And even the fallout that came after fallout. Because for the most part, it was pretty positive. If you remember at the end of the Canada's Got Talent video that I made, I mentioned that I was going to FWA and to BLFC, and even at FWA, even in Atlanta, Georgia, at like 3 in the morning on Saturday night at the con, I am in suit just kind of wandering around, and this person comes up to me and they're just like, hey, aren't you the furry from American Idol? And I guess wrong show, wrong country, wrong network, but general ballpark, I suppose, in the most general of ballparks, because This had a lot bigger reach than I think that they thought it would. The tweet with me was the most liked tweet on their entire social media. So if that doesn't say something, I don't know what does. But I had to explain very clearly again to the producer that furries dance and do these things at conventions because the conventions are our safe spaces. They're the places where we're able to go and actually do these things, you know? You're not gonna see a fursuit in a dance competition at your park, you know, or at the community center. You know, there's not a lot of furries that are willing to humiliate themselves potentially on national TV for a lot of people to see. Certainly a lot harder to get involved with like that sort of traditional media of being on TV, because I know there's been a few more furries popping up in like YouTube and viral type videos lately, but not cable TV. So yeah, that's kind of it. There's not a whole lot else to add. People still recognizing me from Canada's Got Talent, even though they're getting basically every detail about it wrong. They're still recognizing me and approaching me and taking photos with me, and that's awesome. And I'm happy that I get to be kind of the first furry representation on a Got Talent show, even if it wasn't the best. And to the producers of Canada's Got Talent, who may or may not see this video, thanks for trying, and I am interested, but I ain't paying for it. That's about it. Now, I said that I've been busy. Now what the heck have I been doing? Well, I did say that I was on a 6-con tour. I went to Megaplex, Wild Prairie Fur Con, Denver, Indie Fur Con, which was a last-minute change from Furrydelphia, Tails and Tornadoes Fur Con, and lastly, Furry Migration. I did another 6-con tour this summer. I did all those back to back, and then after I got back to Canada, the weekend after was my birthday. So on September 17th, I got together with a bunch of friends. We had a big Survivor event, because you know I'm all about my Survivor. On my birthday. Well, maybe we should censor my age. I don't like to think about it. You know, I've also been very age positive lately. I've said this before. So it's more just that I'm trying to embrace the new age that I am, as opposed to being afraid of aging, I guess. As soon as I got back home, it was pedal to the metal to get my dad elected mayor of Port Moody, which is the city that I've lived my entire life in. But sadly, this did not go our way. There were only 2 candidates for mayor in my city, and the other one did a bunch of, let's say, criminal gray area stuff that, in my opinion, should bar them from running or even getting to sit in the mayor's chair because of the questionable legality of the things their campaign engaged in. But the election is done. The only thing that can happen now would be if the province stepped in, and I don't know if the NDP has the power to do that. So even though I'm a Port Moody girl, born and raised, and I've lived here forever, it is sad that one of the new councillors that got elected was some lady who bullied me for being a queer furry on Facebook many years ago. So congratulations on your new job, lady. I hope you have fun dying alone. But now that that's all over, the contour is over, the election is over, and now it's back to me time. I'm back in the driver's seat of my life. I am working my butt off. You know, I always got big plans coming. Some cool news is that after this summer, I've officially been asked to be guest of honor at 2 different conventions. One in Canada, one in the US, and both of which I attended this summer. Wild Prairie Fur Con in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I'll be there next year in 2023. And Indie Fur Con in Indianapolis, Indiana. I will be there next year as well. That was why I changed Furrydelphia to IFC at the last minute. I noticed that I guess I had forgotten to submit any panels for Furrydelphia. I only realized this the Monday after Megaplex. So I'm just at my friend's house in Florida looking at the schedule for Furrydelphia like, oh, crap. And I threw a little bit of a fit and tried to see if I could get any panels put in, but the answer was no, of course, because it was too last minute. Though I did hear Furrydelphia was a bit of a mess since they moved to a new hotel and we're still working the kinks out. So all I had to do was change my Southwest flight from Denver to Philadelphia and change it to Denver to Indianapolis. And actually, I saved money on that flight change, funny enough. So yeah, I went to IFC for the first time. I had no panels or nothing there. I just kind of hung out. I did the dance comp though. And my roomie was the winner of Survivor from Blue Ridge Fur Fair in North Carolina. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, now I'm back home. I'm back to work. I have Howl, the small local mini Halloween con that I mentioned in the Got Talent video last time because it was around the time this time last year where the audition was. So, yeah. And with the 2 guest of honor appearances I'm doing next year, I've decided to, as well, really try and put the pedal to the metal again to release a new album. Yes, new album on the horizon. It is potentially possible. I don't know what's happening to my voice. But yeah, second album, Cruel Oasis, is still on the way. Working on getting instrumentals done, working on work to make money, to go to the recording studio, and part of me is feeling driven enough to try and do a 3rd album, but that might be a bit much. I think I need to settle on a track list for the 2nd one first. Also, the Clace album is still coming, and that's making some serious progress too, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, that's I think where I'm going to wrap up this video. I don't want it to be overly long. It's meant to just tell a little bit about the Canada's Got Talent and then a little bit about where I'm at right now, because I haven't done a super edited video in a while, and the most recent videos on my channel are old con footage from 2021. So do watch them. They are good videos. They tell good stories, and they kind of share what cons were like at the ends of COVID or at the start of the Delta wave, however you want to look at it. Everyone's still wearing masks and the chairs are all still spaced apart. Definitely check out the newest TFS video. But yeah, please consider subscribing and supporting. I very much appreciate it. Just look at these beautiful patron names going by here. Wow. Shout out to the top patron right there, Cassidy's Toy. And yeah, I think that'll just about do me for now. I guess a brief look into next year. Looking to do Anthem Northwest and Further Confusion back-to-back in January. Then after that, I'll hopefully be flying to San Marino in Europe again and giving Eurovision Audition number 2 a shot, which I still have to make the video for the first one. So that'll come soon, hopefully before the end of the freaking year. Maybe if people know that I'm trying to audition for Eurovision, they will support me. I really gotta get the word out that a furry is trying to audition for Eurovision, because then I think people will start to care a little bit more once I post the video. Alright guys, that's my time. Thank you so much for watching. Eurovision audition video coming real soon. More con vlogs getting slowly edited away. And I hired a new editor for this video, just to see what it might be like to have someone help me streamline the editing, because I'm not good at it. It takes me a long enough time just to get the motivation to get into suit and record a video. If it wasn't super obvious, this video didn't really have a script either, just because it seemed like mostly an update video, so I'm just rambling now. Have a good day, everybody.